People, deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal 0, Aston Villa 3. People, I can't lie, if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry, man. We got dealt with, you know. Credit to Aston Villa. Outclassed us in every department, bullied us. Unlike Arsenal, from the first moment until the last, they were on this thing. They were trying to get 3 points. They were trying to go into the international break on a high. And, you know, for me, again, credit to Villa, because going into the game, once again, on reflection, they played like the home side, you know. They wanted 3 points. Which side looked like they lost back-to-back games going into that prior? I know we lost against Leicester and we beat Man United, but, you know, you would have thought that that we were the side that had the form that Villa did. This is what goes, is football is won on paper. As I said, credit to Dean Smith, because whatever they worked on all week exploited us. You know, our Arsenal fan Ollie Watkins scored, and for me his goals were annoying, not because of him. I couldn't do anything but admire Aston Villa for the way they scored those goals. But for me, I'm seeing my team let him score a brace within 3 minutes of his goal. So again, it's poor. It's actually back-to-back home defeats. You know, we didn't wake up as well. It's just, you know, statistically, it's a bag of problems. I don't want to sit here and speak about the same things. There was a lack of creativity. There was a lack of galvanization. You know, this result has been coming. This is why I tell you, lot, to keep a balanced head. You get away with it. Arsenal have been getting away with this for time. This sort of performance for time. We done it in the second half against Sheffield United. Turned it around a poor game. We got away with it against West Ham. You could have got away with it against Leicester. And your luck runs out. I'm not going to say we deserve this performance, because obviously as a fan I don't want this, but we deserve this performance. So once again, you're brought firmly back down to reality, and remember where this team is and exactly the mammoth of task that Arteta, the boys and everyone connected with Arsenal have to go on to do anything close in to return this club to what it used to be. We are a very poor side. Consistency is what this club will live or die by, as I've previously said. As I said last week, fantastic result at Old Trafford. First time since doing it against 06. Since 06 against them at their place in the league. But it's effing irrelevant if you can't do it against Villa. Credit to Villa, because they're laughing. They smacked us up. They've smacked up Liverpool. You know, they've had their best start for a number of years. Villa fans will tell you significantly. And even though their performance deserved 3 goals, they could have scored 4 or 5. You know, Barkley, again, unfortunate not to be in the England side, but every performance like this, convincing Villa to make you permanent, convincing Southgate reminding you of a baller. Do I need to tell you how good Jack Grealish is and has been all season? Arsenal were firmly reminded, and he was on crud today. Poor performance today. I'm not going to criticise 5 at the back. I'm not going to criticise certain players starting, because I didn't necessarily mind 5 at the back. But to sit here and counter-attack against Aston Villa at home with the fact that they've lost 2, you've got to look at the manager. And I believe in Arteta, and I still want him to turn it around. But you have to look at things objectively, and whatever Arteta's doing on the training ground, it ain't working. Defensively, we've got good statistics. It's all irrelevant, because you've gone with 5 at the back and you've conceded 3 goals at home. You've done something wrong. Players, every player was shit. Let's cut the language. Yeah, the subs looked a bit decent. Tini and Gabriel, I think, went down fighting. Couldn't have asked Leno in particular for much more, but we were poor. We've got to cut the crap. For me, I don't believe we're owed anything. We're not owed top 4. We're not owed to win, but it's about the performance. I don't want to take anything away from Aston Villa, because like I said, that would be doing them a disservice. They were superb today, but we were poor. You know, we were given a warning. VAR saved our bacon, you know. Wenger must have called Sir Alex Ferguson and got that Man United deal. We got allowed. Personally, I thought there was nothing wrong with the goal. I know they're saying Barkley's blocking Leno, but I thought it was a legit goal, and it's a firm reminder to wake up. We didn't heed that advice. We did not wake up, people. And Villa came to commit murder today. You saw them every time they went down their left. All right, killed Bellerin. William, the less said about William, the best, because I'm not the better, because I'm not a smoker, but William will make me do something today. I'm not gonna lie to you. William, don't know where you're on. Aubameyang was poor, but again, when we're not in form as a team, when he individually and collectively we're not banging, he has to go through the middle. I'm a big defender of Lacazette, but as you saw, Lacazette was woeful. You know, in games like this, I wanted to go with Partey and El Nene, and I think Partey prior to his injury was decent. El Nene was a bit wanting for more today, but again, it goes into games like this, you probably need to revisit your personnel, and a lack of creativity in terms of bringing in someone in the summer is a direct consequence to which we're suffering from now. But like I've told you lot before, based on how we're playing, could you say if Ozil, just because a lot of people always rant about Ozil being back in the team, or Aouar came, or Szoboszlai, could you honestly say you throw them into that team and our creative problems today wouldn't have been a thing? No, because you can see a real lack of issues, people. We didn't start the game well, you know. Removing Aston Villa and take nothing away from them, we were arrogant in the sense of we were complacent, you know. We didn't turn up. 46 seconds they scored their first goal. VAR saved our bacon. We didn't heed that advice, you know. Even against Molde, I know it's a different team, but we're all the same team. We're all a unit. And if we're learning from our mistakes, that Friday morning when we're reviewing the Molde game, what happened? Because we went behind in that game, forgive me if I'm wrong. Even if we go back to the Rapid Vienna game in the Europa League, I could be wrong, but we were poor in that game. We just scored like 3 or 4 in quick succession. Do you get it? So we have been poor. We've lost exactly 4, won exactly 4, you know. So there are positives, but there are negatives. And this is why I'm saying you need to look at it with balance. We barely created. To say we barely created is doing us a justice. God, we did have possession for large parts, but what did we do with it? You're seeing Willian slice efforts with his left foot. Tierney's putting in lovely balls. Lacazette's mistiming them and whatnot. It was poor, people. It was poor, and you could, you know, there was numerous heart and mouth moments, as you saw, where Aston Villa deserved their goal. As I said, they deserved their goal, and as you saw, you know, it's poor in the build-up. It's great play from Grealish and Barkley for their first goal. Like I said, as a football fan, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm a football fan first. It was hard not to admire what they did, you know. From an Arsenal perspective, it's schoolboy. We're standing off, 3 men are caught ball watching. He's just played it back to his target. Targets pull it across, and they've scored, people. Saka's unlucky. You know, Saka could have done a bit better in his positioning, and these are the games he will learn about what defending is all about at fullback. It's all fun and games connecting with Aubameyang and whatnot going forward. This is where you struggle, and that should have been the wake-up call. But again, we're chasing shadows. Again, we're lackluster. Again, you know, we're second best across every department. Mentally, we're not switched on. We don't look like a bunch of players that wanted to play today. And again, it's further questions that you're looking at this team and questioning their mentality. Before the game, I'm seeing Arteta say we need to become a team that can score 90, 100 goals. You're not going to do that with Willian in the team, big man. I'm not going to lie to you, and he's here for 3 years. I'm actually seeing Willian say not this season, but next season potentially challenge for titles. How can you challenge for titles if you can't put consistent runs together? And we can't feel sorry for ourselves right about now, because you've got to go to Ellen Road after this international break. You've got Spurs, you've got Wolves, you've got Chelsea, you've got Southampton, you've got bare teams, you know, before the end of the year. So you can't feel sorry for yourselves. And this is why I get annoyed when I see people talking, because the doing is expensive. We were poor today. Tactically, clearly, whatever Arteta did didn't work, you know. But players need to take initiative, and neither did. And it's a cocktail of bad management today and a poor performance from the players. They didn't play like they wanted to leave in the international break on a high. They didn't move like a team that wants to get back to winning ways at home, having lost in the last home game. Like a team that wanted to compile Aston Villa to more misery. As I said, prior to this game, they lost 2 in a row. Instead, you stead off them. You let them remember how good they are as a team, and they had fantastic performances. Martinez has come here, clean sheet, done his job, and was in, you know, it was lovely for one of the goals, can't remember. But he's like what we've done when Martinez was involved, he's thrown it quickly, and I think eventually it ended up with Grealish, and I actually think it might have been one of Watkins' goals. I could be wrong, but either way, it's a collective performance. Man to a man, Villa outclassed us. You know, only a couple men at Arsenal were trying to do a thing, and even then their performances are stated. You know, Gabriel, collectively, like the rest of the team, could have done better for the goals. I think he tried to fight. I think Partey tried. Tierney, you know, he's buckling and then he weren't at his best, but I think he tried. But, you know, that's 3 men and there's 11 men on the field. I can't ask Leno for much more. It was atrocious. I don't know what Willian has over certain other options, but he's not offering that. He's not bringing nothing to the table in this game. He's almost working like the other team, and you're almost hoping that one of these players takes a page out of Benzema's book and says to him, like he did with Mendy, with Vinicius Jr., he's not moving like he's on our team. Lacazette was atrocious as well. But we did, like I said, man, Villa deserved to be a go-up, people, really and truly. And simply put, we need to wake the hell up. Wake the hell up. Wake the hell up. Because it's 1-0. As you saw with VAR, it could have been 2. Regardless of that, it could have been 3-4. Villa look good today. Villa are playing well. Villa are up for this, you know. Villa, you know, they've got ex-Chelsea man and John Terry on the bench. Current Lowly and Barkley. They want to put one over us on London. And Grealish, every game he plays well against the tops. I say top 6. We're not a top 6 side. We would have if we won today. He puts in a performance against a team like Arsenal where a lot of people are watching. And you know what happens, you know, Southgate looks like a dummy for saying he's moving above in the pecking order. There's no pecking order. Jack Grealish has to start for England, you know. They're quality people. Listen, Lacazette should have equalised before the end of the half, but we can only thank the man upstairs that it's only 1-0. We need to wake up, and again, it's the same old issues. The lack of creativity, the lack of invention, the galvanisation, not starting games well, being reactive, not really seeing as a fan what players' specific roles are and what they're bringing to the table, really and truly. It was atrocious, and as I've said, people, we don't look like the home side at half-time. I think we lack the obvious. We're lacking creativity. There's no urgency. There's pure complacency. For me, we don't look like the home side. For me, we don't look like a team that wants to win this game. We don't look like a team that's mentally there. I don't know what's happened. I don't want to hear no excuses, but we look like, a couple man look like they're already in international break. Some of them are not going to be called up for their countries, so they're probably thinking about what they can do with their wives and go for shopping and that. It was poor. Our right-hand side's non-existent in a defensive sense, and I don't see what it's doing in an attacking sense. And, you know, Arteta's going to live or die by some of these choices, and I'm not turning on Arteta, but you have to, in the same way I'm praising him when we're beating Liverpool and Chelsea and City and all these teams, I have to look at, man, we're against Aston Villa. I still believe in Arteta, but today I don't know what he is on. It's not necessarily the lineup, it's the intention. Like, we're playing on the counter-attack at home against a team that's lost back-to-back. If this is Unai Emery, I'm going mad, you're all going mad, but because his name is Mikel Arteta, we're looking at it. And I'm not saying to turn on the man, I'm saying to look at things objectively. We're not at it, and quite frankly put, bar, you know, the little Bellerin dribble, the Tierney cross, Willian had an effort in the first half, and obviously the Lacazette header for Havertz. We haven't created nothing, but it's the same old. Second half, like in the first, Villa, they didn't want to travel all the way down from whatever motorway back up to Brum without 3 points. You know, keep calling him Lyle Taylor. Ollie Watkins is probably not going to get in the England squad, but the more he keeps scoring, the more you throw him into these conversations with the Calvert-Lewins and probably Bamford and, you know, all of these, Callum Wilson and all these England strikers, Tammy and everyone, you know, he has an outside chance. And, you know, to have, did he get a hat-trick against Liverpool? Brace here, I could be wrong on all of that, but either way, man, you know, second half they started strong, and again Willian's peeing me off, people. Second half, it's like he's playing for them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not trying to scapegoat Willian. I'm not saying we must lead a witch hunt for Willian, but I'm prepared to take Pepe's frustrations over this guy, man. Cause I'm not seeing what he's on. Like, I'm not like that left foot effort. He had the cheek to say it's a corner. What are you doing, fam? You're playing for the other team when you're doing stuff like that. 55th minute, Grealish shouldn't have been shooting from that range, but he done very well. And they were knocking on the door, and like in the first half, they were killing our right hand side down there left. They were killing us. And they should have been 3-4 up, you know. They should have been 2-3-4 up. The way they're playing deserves that. You know, we're hanging on. You know, Leno's made a couple of saves for us. You know, second half, I can't remember when, but I'm sure Ceballos, who's come on for the injured party, has saved a shot off the line. But we've let ourselves down. Forgive me if I'm wrong. You know, you all saw it. The way Barkley scored, Barkley was for the second was quite superb. You know, it was lovely play again from Aston Villa. And obviously, all Watkins has to do is want it a bit more than our players, and he does. You know, the third goal's a thing of beauty again, cutting us open, people. I believe that's the Martinez one where they had Grealish or Barkley, and I believe Watkins made the run off Gabriel and Holding, and he scored. And they tried to even get more. Their performance deserves that. As I said, Aston Villa deserved their clean sheet. Yeah, they deserved their clean sheet. They deserved their 3 points. What else? You know, they deserve to go leave London on a high. You know, Grealish is leaving with his reputation enhanced every game. Barkley, the revival continues. You know, man to a man. You know, and their fans were onto them. You saw what happened against Southampton. Mad reaction, of course, for the neutrals and whatnot. And looking at it with my neutral head, it's further the craziest Premier League season, because Villa smacked Liverpool, then they got smacked by Leicester, I believe. Leicester have done the smackings. Arsenal beat United, then we're doing this. And for Arsenal, it's air. You can't talk about top four and do all of this if you can't put consistent runs together. And we're coming into a very difficult period of our season, and it just makes you look silly, because the players, the manager, you do a bunch of talking before the game. Talking is expensive. Leave it out there, because it's just egg on your faces. There's not too many. In fact, not a single player can say that they played well, really. You know, some man tried to fight. Not a single man can say they played well. Not a single man can say they're happy with themselves. The one benefit is international duty. For those of you that are in international, go and click. Remember what happened today. Watch the videos. Go and clear your mind, and I hope you come back and avoid a repeat of this, you know. And those of you that are not playing for your countries and whatnot, you better go to London Coley and try 10 times harder. Like Lacazette, you're not called up for France. You better be doing some finishing training and whatnot, because Lacazette is looking slow. He's always behind on the counter-attack. His pressing is probably overstated. As much as I like Lacazette today, you can't really defend, man. Lacazette and William, what are they bringing to the table today? Aubameyang's toothless, but we all know Aubameyang's Aubameyang. It is what it is. It's poor, and Arteta has to face the music as well, because we're counter-attacking against a team, once again, that's lost back-to-back games, people. I don't mind the three at the back. I felt we'd go with a three at the back, but we were poor. We didn't look like we're ever in this game. We have to face the music, and this performance, this result was coming for a while. We've been avoiding it. You know, the beauty and curse about football is sometimes you can't see it. I mean, you can't see it, but you're always reminded. And it's results like this that I wouldn't say are warranted, but they show, man, bringing back to earth. When you look at the couple of results, decent results we've had this season, beating United, you know, best defensive record at a point and all of that stuff, not that it probably is now. It creates a false sense of perception. You need to see the level. We can't put consistency together. We don't know what we're getting from this team for 5 games. So how can you talk about top 4, you know? And in terms of creativity, this is another game to illustrate what I mean by you can bring in Szoboszlai and Arwa. They're not going to solve it in a sense of we're not seeing anything tactically from our gaffer to say it's as white and black as their man there come in, you know. It was atrocious today. Atrocious. Just reactive, just passive, just arrogant in the sense of, for me, being complacent is arrogant because you assume that you could just turn up against Aston Villa and get something. And they slapped you in your face. Slapped you in your face. You know, you lot got it's never nice to lose 3-0. Like I said, they kept a clean sheet. Martinez should text you lot and be on a banter. If I was Martinez, I'll walk into the wrong change room by mistake, you know, because such is fresh, how fresh his move is from Aston Villa, and go and thingy you lot. You lot were poor and you deserve that. You deserve that slapping. The Premier League is harsh, and this is the lessons you have to learn. As I always say, don't make things harder than it has to be. You made this game harder than it had to be because you defeated yourselves before the game started. In the same way, even in the Europa League, we've been poor. You know, we didn't get away with it against Leicester, and that we didn't make them pay for the first half. We got away against Sheffield United, against West Ham. You know, the only performance we've looked perfect in is Fulham, man. With all due respect to Fulham, that's a discounting because Fulham, you should be winning that whether you're at your best or not. We deserve that. Credit to Aston Villa. Like I said, I can't take nothing away from them. Their game plan was superb. They were superb. Individually, collectively, you know. Strikers got a brace. Grealish and Barkley was superb. McGinn was there. You know, let's give credit. Not that we really had much of a say in things and presented much of an effort, but credit to their defenders and Martinez as well. We were toothless. We defeated ourselves today. We were poor. Football's a mental game. Mentally, we never looked like we was there. So firmly, Arsenal, you know, deserved the banter. You know, you're laughing when Man United, like I was laughing at Man United fans when they lost 6-1, laughing when we beat them last week. And as I can see now, I'm not looking at it, but my friends of United, they're Snapchatting me. They're doing the most now. And I have to take it because it's the rough with the smooth. It is what it is, people. We have to take it, man. Our team was poor today. It is what it is. And, you know, it's an even longer international break now because we're going into it on a sour note, but it's a time of reflection. But we've been down this road before, really, and we haven't necessarily learned from these mistakes. And again, mistakes made more than once borderline become choices, people. On that note, though, I've got nothing more to add, so I'm going to get out of here. It's always a pleasure. Deluded, I'm out.